Hey, hey, hey. Shalom, shalom again. Just give you a minute. Be right back. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. Let's do it. This is your brother Sham back again. Coming here with a ramble. The very first episodes of Sham's Rant. Wow, this pretty much just talk about certain items and talk about certain topics. That's been pressing my spirit. Let's go off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? So, as you can see, the headline is, this whole thing with the FBI now want to label red pill terminology, and I guess like the concept of red pill and all that as a form of extremism. You know what I'm saying? And for the past couple days, I've seen men, the so-called black manosphere, or what I'm saying, or manosphere adjacent, or the detractors that want nothing to do with them. And from what I see, like, you know, I see brothers from the manosphere or was a part of the manosphere adjacent is now like kind of shook. And you got like the detractors, like, yeah, that's what you niggas get, and that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, at least from my angle, I see something completely different. And you know what I'm saying? And while most folks think there's something to be afraid of or scared of or anything like that, me, I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to see if I still have the article on this, the whole extremism thing. Just give me a minute so I can try to pull it up. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know what I'm saying? And because me personally, I see this whole thing is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's really BS. I don't know why brothers is like running scared. I don't know why, what I'm saying, guys just like shook. I'm gonna try to see if I could comb over it, very quickly, and just give my terminology and give my breakdown from what I see. So this is the article. Let me see if you guys can see. Yeah, FBI documents associate internet slang like base and red pill with extremism. Hold up. New documents released Monday warn that the common internet lingo is being associated with quote unquote violent extremism by the FBI. The Heritage Foundation Oversight Project said it used a Freedom of Information Act request to expose FBI documents that include glossaries showing that the common internet slang has been flagged as an indication of involuntary celibate, violent extremism, or racially or ethnically motivated violent extremism. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me continue. Part of the document refers specifically to incels or those involuntary celibate whom the threat overview describes as possibly seeking to commit violence in support of their beliefs that society unjustly denies them sexual or romantic attention to which they believe they are entitled. The assessment notes while most incels do not engage in violence, some have been involved in at least 5 lethal attacks in the United States and Canada. In one term, the glossary's red pill, which comes from the 1999 film The Matrix, and have been used as a metaphor for seeing hitting or politically incorrect truths about the modern world, particularly when it comes to politics or dating. The FBI list of key items or key terms define it as a belief shared by many online communities that society is corrupt and that the believer is a victim of this corruption. Many of the terms listed are focused on self improvement or the struggle to reckon with the marketplace of modern dating. The glossary defines the term as Chad as a race specific term used to describe the idealized version of a male who is very successful at getting sexual and romantic attention from women. Later noting incels unsuccessfully compete with Chads for attention. The list also includes the term looksmaxing, which is defined in the document as a process of self improvement with the intent to become more attractive. There are many terms associated with self pity rather than violence, such as saying it's over to convey the hopelessness of being incel, or referring to height cell or bald cell to define people with short stature or baldness, respectfully. The FBI lists the terms associated with racially and ethnically motivated violent extremism. RMVE has mix of extreme terms and innocuous ones. Red pill also appears in this list, but is with different description. In the context of RMVE ideology, taking the red pill or becoming red pill indicates the adoption of racist, anti-Semitic, or fascist belief. Base is defined by the FBI as a word for used to used to refer to someone who has been converted to a racist ideology as a way of indicating ideological agreement. In the regular parlance, based i- in context specific word coined by a rapper, Little B, can mean something as know your meme describes anything ranging from something that's agreeable to cool to something anti woke. The list also includes the term LARPing, which originally used to describe people engaging in live action role play, often as characters in high fantasy settings. In a political context, the term can be used for people with impractical and improbable political vision, such as imagining a monarchist future for the United States. The FBI glossary says the term is used to derive individuals accused of not being extreme or in possession of skills or in the value characteristics they claim to have. Now, see, this is what they got from the study that the FBI got, right? Here's my whole thing. Again, when you read this whole thing, it's really talking about the Caucasians. It's really talking about the white boys. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be used as a red herring to make it seem like they're going after the white boys and they could be coming targeting, black men. Who knows? But the whole point about this, according to their to what they found, was that the FBI really investigating incels, involuntary celibate. You know what I'm saying? Which to my understanding are mostly Caucasian. You understand what I'm saying? So this whole thing about brothers in the black manosphere, pretty much shitting their pants and pissing themselves because the FBI might put you on a watch list if you use certain terminologies. Like, nigga, who the hell cares? You understand what I'm saying? You got a lot of brothers out here. From the past couple days, I'm seeing some kind of shook. I don't know. Maybe we should do what? Do what? A lot of these terminologies based Chad, or the base they say came from a rapper, Little B or something, whoever the hell that is. But Chad, Brad, and stuff like that was created by white folks. And the term they use for black guys, Tyrone, that was created by white folks. That was created by white folks. That incels and the MGTOW dudes, you know what I'm saying? Their terminology was created by them. And the whole point is this: the majority of men in the black manosphere, they're not incels. First of all, the the overwhelming majority of the men in the so-called black manosphere are either married or in long-term relationships, or if it ain't, and hold on, let me say it again. The vast majority of the men in the black manosphere are married or in long-term relationships, and the small remainders are, in situationships, hidden quitters, FWBs, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I honestly doubt if there's any any man in the black manosphere claims to be an incel. So again, this is not talking about you. You understand what I'm saying? But again, even here's my thing, and a lot of people will disagree with this. Even if you think that this incel thing, no, not incel, this FBI thing might include the men of the manosphere, my whole thing is, so the fuck what? You know what I'm saying? This FBI thing, oh, you use red pill terminology, dating and mating, you know what I'm saying? Use the term red pill, or you know what I'm saying? Listen, who cares? What and a great point that this panel I was on a few days ago, you know what I'm saying? One of the brothers, also a fellow Israelite, has said that, yo, man, he sees this thing as all a red herring, and that it is to pretty much go after the men who they see as a threat to the system. You know what I'm saying? The men, you know what I'm saying? And I chimed in that honestly, I believe that this whole thing was a way to get to the men that is not down with the current agenda that society is pushing. You know what I'm saying? Feminism, you know what I'm saying? The woke stuff, the trans gentleman agenda, the you know LGBTQ, the Alphabet Club, the you know what I'm saying? Children being able to do whatever the hell they want, no order, no structure in the home. You know what I'm saying? All the liberal agendas that's being pushed, eh, primarily on the black community. You understand what I'm saying? If you're not down with the program, you are seen as a threat regardless. You are seen as a threat regardless. So I say all that to say this, but it's time to hold your fucking nuts. You're gonna be on some type of FBI fucking watch list anyway. And you want the funny thing is, a lot of the men in the black manosphere have some form of religious beliefs. You know what I'm saying? There's some Christians, but other besides Christianity, and according to the FBI or the or the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, that certain of your beliefs is considered a hate group. Like me personally, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Been one for like over a decade. My faith is considered a fucking hate group. My faith has already been under surveillance by the FBI. So this whole red pill thing being surveillance is another walk in the fucking park for me. It's another day in the Bronx for me. What else is new? I'm pretty sure the powers that be done have pictures of me on the street in the garments, the quote unquote Power Ranger costumes that some of you detractors to the Hebrew Israelites like to say. Pretty sure they done got all my face, you know what I'm saying? Me pictures of me in garments and everything. And I'm still standing. And I'm still here, just fine. Why are you scared? Some of the men in the manosphere listen to the Hebrew Israelites. Why are you scared? Some of the men, quite a few men in the black manosphere has quoted, Minister Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, Khalid Muhammad, men that was part of the Nation of Islam. And I think some even came out and said that they was a part of the nation or study with the nation. Guess what? The Nation of Islam has been considered a hate group for decades. Why are you scared now? The FBI has been surveilling the Nation of Islam for decades. Why are you scared now? Because the FBI want to label certain terminology that men use in everyday conversation as a hate group. Why? Because you afraid to get your little channel banned? Why? Who cares? Are you in this content creation shit to edify people, or you in it to make money? You understand what I'm saying? Again, for those of you brothers who was a part or studied, in the Nation of Islam, guess what? This should be a walk in the park to you as well. Why are you worried? Why are you even scared? Guess what? A lot of you brothers are part of the pro Black Panther Party, the new Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers might be following the sovereign thing. Claiming they're sovereign citizens. Guess what? Both of them, the neo the new Black Panther Party and the sovereign guys. Guess what? You guys are considered a hate group too. FBI been got y'all on the surveillance as well. Why are you scared now? See, it gets to a point where this, man. This is my take of this whole ordeal. I honestly believe that the FBI is using the red pill terminology. Yeah, they might be using it to monitor the incels and stuff like that, and might use it to try to deter crime and blah blah blah. And even with that, I gotta call cap because my thing is with that is we talking about the FBI here, right? The one that got all the stats and numbers, the one that like to push out that 30% of the population are responsible for 50% of the violent crime in the country. Yeah. Within those numbers, you don't see much, if any, numbers of black men doing mass shooting because he can't get laid. How many of those have you seen? Well, we haven't seen a few. by white guys. Number one was that one. Number one is that dude in California. I'm not gonna mention his name. Initials ER. Young white dude. To me, no homo. He was a decent looking dude. He could have had any bitch he wanted if he really applied himself. But because he wasn't getting laid and felt like, I guess a chick's supposed to fall on his lap and start sucking him off, he went on and did what he did. And a couple other incels went and did the same thing. And that a few other incels are part of hate group like that Nick Fuentes clown. That's an incel. He claims to be an incel. So yeah, the FBI might do the thing to monitor them, but also believe on top of that, they're monitoring the black men that are the movers and shakers, where the black manosphere that are the movers and shakers, that our talking points are now starting to get into, what I'm saying, the mainstream. Where now you got politicians are low-key listening to the manosphere when we talk about politics, about laws that need to get changed. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Dr. T. Hassan Johnson when he come up with his, was that the 14-point agenda? I think now it's at 15 of agendas that, you know what I'm saying, of policies that should be for black men. You know what I'm saying? Like fair, you know what I'm saying, shared custody, fair custody as far as like divorce, you know what I'm saying? As far as like custody of the children and stuff like that. What should happen to what should legally be happen? What should the legal repercussions that should happen to women that falsely accuse men of rape, or what I'm saying, falsely accuse men of abuse or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now the whole thing. Now with his point, now come to find out, Stacey Abrams pretty much did a cut and paste of Dr. Johnson's agenda. And the whole thing with, you know what I'm saying, with men in the space talking about there should be more programs and stuff that to help black boys get ahead, to be better readers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Is now you see certain politicians are starting to take heed of that. And I believe that is the main reason why the manosphere is under surveillance, not because of talking about bitches. Dude, I saw a live stream yesterday. It was so fucking disgusting, man. I had to eventually turn the shit off, man. Some dude, I'm not gonna say his name, was talking wild greasy. I guess he might have had a bad experience with the manosphere. So he's talking wild greasy, called them losers and all kinds of dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? And said, "Oh, the FBI is on you because they tired." First of all, no one gives a fuck what the fuck the FBI is doing. And I'll be the first to say this. If me talking about the fairness that should be going on in a relationship between a man and a woman makes me guilty of a crime, I'm guilty as charged. If me talking about the order and structure of how a marriage and how a family is supposed to go, as thus says the scriptures, makes me guilty of a federal crime, I'm guilty as charged. Because see, I'm about my shit. I'm about my faith. First Corinthians 11:3. The order of the family, God, Christ, man, woman. Anything other than that is confusion. I live on that. And that made me a federal criminal, guilty as charged. Same thing with my faith for being a Hebrew Israelite. Hit the corners telling people, oh, the violent crime. 30% of the 30% of the population, which is black folks or African Americans, are responsible for 50% of the violent crime. So me hitting the block, preaching and telling brothers, put the guns down, put the guns down, stop gang banging, stop drug dealing, stop doing wickedness to your community. Give your life to God and repent and keep the commandments. That make me fucking guilty of a violent. That make me fucking guilty of a federal crime. Guilty as charged. And again, like I said, for you brothers in these other groups out here, all you trying to do is push is to elevate your people by teaching righteousness and intelligence, or righteousness, order, and structure. You've been under surveillance by the feds anyway, nigga. The fuck you get you wearing pink panties for? The fuck you scared now? For what? My point is niggas need to grow some fucking balls, bro. If anything, y'all niggas need to double down. If y'all really about this, if y'all really about black men and black women getting their shit together and get together and horse, and learn to work shit out and work to function, if y'all niggas really about saving the community, if y'all niggas really about brothers being able to find the best woman for them and have a family, if y'all really about brothers avoiding some of the pitfalls and traps in this society, like no fault divorces and shit like that, then you supposed to fucking double down. If not, all that shows that you're a grifter. You just here to make the bread, and it's cool. Just be real with your shit. Just be real with your shit. Now, let me bring this up. There's a couple things I want to share with you guys. This is from the ACLU. One of you guys can see this. The FBI won't hand over its surveillance on on over its surveillance sorry, the FBI won't hand over its surveillance records on black identity extremists or suing. So yeah, that's another thing. Listen, you black men that are part of, well, not black men, you black women too. You part of any form of black conscious movement, the FBI already considers you a fucking extremist anyway. That's what you're a Hebrew Israelite. You part of the NOI, the Nation of Islam, the Fruit of Islam. Oh, you're 5%er. You part of the New Black Panther Party. For the brothers that claim to be Moors or claim they sovereign. In the eyes of the federal government, you're a black identity extremist. If you're anything besides, a typical hood booger from the hood, you are considered an extremist in the eyes of the government. You've been considered one for the longest. Why the fuck are you niggas scared now? At a time when I'm just read part of it. I'm not reading the whole thing. At a time when violence by white supremacists is on the rise, the FBI appears to be targeting black people in a secret intelligence program concerning so-called black identity extremists, an inflammatory term for a group that doesn't even exist. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much again. This is my take of the whole thing with the red pill, the whole with the red pill terminology now being part of extremists, be considered extremists. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they say it's the amount of the incels, which is basically majority white boys, but I think that's a red herring on who they really target, the black manosphere. The borough's practice echoes earlier shameful government surveillance programs that sought to discredit civil rights and black power activists who were critical to advancing the racial equality, and echoes modern day spying that impacts immigrants and Arabs, Middle Eastern, Muslims, and South Asian. It's a AMEMSA. This is why the government doesn't want to get information about this program. Want us to get information about this program. It's also why the ACLU and the Center for Media Justice are taking the FBI to court. In 2017, the FBI issues an intelligence assessment that designated black identity extremists likely motivated to target law enforcement officers. Okay, yeah. When exactly? Not gonna answer that nonsense, that folly. A new domestic terror threat. Disseminated to more than 18,000 law enforcement agencies, the intelligence assessments claim without evidence that black people involved in unrelated police killings shared an ideology that motivated their actions. It also focused on black people who, in the Bureau's own words, perceive racism and injustice in American society. So if you're a black person and you know, you know what I'm saying? If you're a black person and you believe that, you know, we have been done wrong and there's a lot of racism in this society, guess what? They got you as a form as they labeling it as an extremist too. The intelligence assessment built on anti-black racial stereotypes. It's so deeply flawed and of such poorly analytical quality that even some law enforcement acknowledge that no group of so-called black identity extremists even exists. Exactly, because they don't. Because the funny thing with black people, we just learn how to just deal with whatever hands we're dealt with. This whole uprising, nah, fuck that. Yeah, we're gonna riot. Yeah. That's some white boys. And the funny thing is the feds know that. They know that. They know that. Antifa and all them groups and stuff like that, the Proud Boys, know what I'm saying? They was doing all that shit. Let's continue. The intelligence assessment sparked an avalanche of concern from elected officials, black activists, and black-led organizations, including Center for Media Justice and Color of Change. The dissemination of a racialized threat labeled to law enforcement nationwide hold the potential to spark baseless police harassment of black activists who protest police and state violence. And we know that programs that diminish already weakens mechanisms for police accountability and can lead to harm and death of black people stopped by the police. There are too many stories of black men and women and uh, them people that underscore this truth. Now let me scroll down. Let me get to the part that I want. Okay, right here. This is where it gets interesting. The fabrication of a black identity extremist threat that is the latest example in a sordid history in efforts to harass, discredit, and disrupt black activists who dared to use their voices to call out white supremacy. So listen, same way back then is the same now. Again, this whole thing with the feds now talking about red pill terminology because is considered part of extremism. Listen, man, there is their way to silence folks, mainly us. mainly us, because the talking points of the black manosphere is starting to make mainstream. The issues and the relationship issues, the family structure issues, the child education issues that we have been talking about is starting to hit mainstream. And those who the feds really got the eye on. Not some fucking white boy in his basement bitching online that he can't get pussy. So let's get that clear. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's read that again. The fabrication of a black identity extremist threat is the latest example in the sordid history of efforts to harass, discredit, and disrupt the black activists who dare use their voice to call out white supremacy, which as they do in the past, like they did in the past. How many times the feds try to discredit Dr. King, try to discredit Malcolm X, try to discredit any the Black Panther Party, the Black Panthers back then? They do it all the time. And this is what they're doing now. Let's see. At the turn of the 20th century, law enforcement targeted Ida B. Wells and Marcus Garvey as race agitators. And that's the funny thing is, that's the funny thing. Ida B. Wells and Marcus Garvey, especially Marcus Garvey, he was about the advancement of his people. Ain't no violence, no threat. We gonna get none of that. The main thing that Marcus Garvey preached was do for self. Don't wait on the government for handout. Don't wait on the white man for handout. Get up and do for self. Work together and do for self. Put the whole pull yourself up by the bootstrap stuff. That's what he preached. And he was still a threat. He was still considered a threat. The FBI counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO, deployed covert activities against Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, the Black Panther Party, El Haj Malik Shabazz, Malcolm X, and Ella Baker in the 50s and 60s. In the late 60s and 70s, the FBI surveilled and investigated black-owned bookstores on the grounds on targeting purported centers of extremism. And again, like I said, they knew good and damn well that we wasn't doing none of that shit. It's just any movement that we see to advance ourselves, to be about something, they sabotaged. You do for self, get your mind right, stop focus on these people, separate and do your own thing. Okay, we all this and we all that. You don't call us the N words and all this other stuff. And discriminating us because of color of our skin. Okay, cool. We gonna just be over here doing our own thing. And that's when the feds want to let's see what they're doing over there. Or they trying to build? All right, let's sabotage that. What dangerous threat was him? It was Dr. King. What pushing civil rights? You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, they claim that, what I'm saying, he was running through women. Okay, what crime is that? And that allegedly that he had, what I'm saying, he had a taste for white bitches. Okay, what crime is that? But it's still want to sabotage the man. Y'all still sabotaging, man. Malcolm X, that preached black empowerment, what I'm saying, that who preach black empowerment, also do for self, and also defend yourself while any means necessary. That was during the time where he was preaching that during a time where, as a black man, you could just walk down the street, mind your business, and a group of white boys could jump, beat you up, and lynch you. The police would know exactly what happened, know all the subjects, arrest them, they get tried, and it will still get off. Sometimes they weren't even arrested at all, depending on certain some parts of the South. White men was getting away with all kinds of atrocities and wasn't even getting arrested. Malcolm X push, you know, defend yourself by any means necessary. He told us not to rely on the liberals, and that there's some of the most snakiest, sneakiest people out there, as you can still see today. He was a threat. Who exactly was he harming? Right. And you know what I'm saying? And we all know how his life ended tragically. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically it on that. What I wanted. My whole point is this. And here's a tidbit. Wasn't there after Malcolm X came back from Mecca that you know he kind of saw things differently, started seeing the corruption in the Nation of Islam, and left. And guess what? Even after he left, he was still being monitored by the feds. Some brothers in the manosphere has said that they was part of the nation and they left. Some might still be a part of the nation. Guess what, nigga? You still being monitored by the feds. So why are you pissing your pants now? Because now you on YouTube talking about the red pill, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. You know why are you scared now? Why are you scared now? And for those who don't know what red pill is this. It came from the movie The Matrix. Where's the blue pill and the red pill? The blue pill, you pretty much go about your life, being blissfully ignorant. And the red pill, that you start to see the world for what it is. Everything is not what it seems, you know what I'm saying? And that you'll start to see the bullshit that goes on in society clearly, at clear as day. You understand what I'm saying? So that gets applied towards relationship and dating, where you see the agendas, where the pitfalls, where you know a lot of a lot of men don't want to get married because they see how quick, what I'm saying, women could detonate the marriage like that. With a lot of states, New York is one of them, no fault divorce. No fault divorce. You know what I'm saying? How easy it is to meet to a man, how easy a woman could leave and claim abuse, and all of a sudden she get the kids, and the judge will pretty much take her word for it. You know what I'm saying? A woman could completely lie on the father of her children, saying that he did this and that and the kids, and you know what I'm saying, family court judge will take her at her word, and when it comes back she's lying. Judge like, so what you want me to do? Okay. Or she'll lie and get you arrested, and when they find out she lied, the cops do the same thing. What you want me to do? Okay. You know what I'm saying? The red pill is where men start to see, how the system is rigged towards men, as far as family court, as far as marriages, long term dating and relationships and stuff, to the point where a lot of brothers has decided, you know what, I'm not, I'm checking out. You know what I'm saying? Like some brothers would rather be by themselves, others will just keep it casual and occasional. You know what I'm saying? Now, me, part of my faith, we don't condone hit it and quit it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And other brothers who actually found a woman that's worth a damn, that he will do, the long term relationship thing, but absolutely positively no, you know legal marriage. Now, if that makes us an extremist, then hey, it is what it is. But last time I checked, it's not black men that's doing all these shootings because he can't get laid. It's not black men that's doing that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's ever been black men that did that. You know what I'm saying? If any black men that might have did like a like an active shooter, it always has been for something different. Maybe injustice in the family court, maybe discrimination, maybe what I'm saying, got screwed over by his ex-wife and he had enough and something. It's never, oh, I can't get laid, what I'm saying? I had enough, blah blah blah. That's the Caucasian, that's their activities. You understand what I'm saying? Now let me just hit this last thing before I end it, and give my closing statements and end it off. Because again, listen, there's really no reason why brothers should be calling themselves distancing themselves from the red pill, or to me, when I see shit like that, is like, dude, like you pretty much a grifter. You know what I'm saying? You pretty much did this shit to make bread. And my thing is, okay, that's cool, but it's like, you know, you can't claim you Nation of Islam, or or you learn from from the Nation of Islam. You can't claim you're a Hebrew Israelite and then disavow the red pill. You can't say that you believe that blacks are the real Jews and then disavow the red pill, because those are considered extremists. Those are under FBI surveillance anyway. So why stop now? All right, I'm on the SBLC, and I'll do the extremist files. You know what I'm saying? These are all the the groups that they considered. You see, you know what I'm saying? All these ideologies that they considered hate groups and stuff like that. Guess what? That the alt right and all them other people, anti-Muslim. Oh, this one. You guys love this one. Male supremacy. Let's click this one. Male supremacy is a hateful ideology advocating for the subjugation of women in and rigid gender roles. Rigid meaning like pretty much set in stone by God gender roles. And that's a hate group. See what I'm saying? So if you're a masculine man, or maybe you might be a chauvinist, hey, whoever, it is what it is. You're considered a hate group according to SPLC. And look who they have labeled as an extremist. The gentleman Roosh V, Dariush Roosh Valezadeh. I don't know how you pronounce his name, but that gentleman, a voice for men. You know what I'm saying? That is considered a quote unquote hate group. Hmm? No, so I'm not reading this article. This is like pretty much. Oh, look, see, pick up artists, the red pill and misogynist incels. Yeah, the SPLC consider y'all a hate group. So you pick up artists, or you guys got game to mac these holes and all that. Listen, you're considered a hate group. So are you going to stop being a PUA? because some rinky dink agency. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wrap this up in a nice bow at the end. See, one of the most prominent pickup artists, Roos, Roosh V, called it. Well, yeah, yeah. See, yeah. That's wildin'. That's wildin'. But you know what I'm saying. But you see, like how basically they saying that a lot of a voice for men. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, see, 2021 male supremacy hate groups. So if you're a man that you think a man has a right to rule and stuff like that, to rule his household and things like that, you're considered a hate group. And let's see, let's look over. Do, 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 do. Let me see militia movement. Let's see. Does it have any? Oh no, that's the white folks. Nope, not these dudes. General hate. Guess who they got? Yeah, see, the Hebrew Israelites. We're considered was that since the late 1960s, the radical Hebrew Israelites ideology split into form increasingly anti-Semitic. Here we go, that nonsense. Anti-white, anti-alphabet, right? Because just because y'all shove the alphabet stuff in our face, we're supposed to take it, right? Xenophobic, yeah, whatever you say, and misogynistic, right? Because Hebrews like men don't love their women, right? Please, that's why so many Hebrews like men aren't married with children, and some of the older ones have been in their wives for like 15, 20 years, some even longer, right? Because we hate women. Get the fuck out of here. And that they're the true Israelites of the Bible and perpetuate the anti-Semitic. Now, see, if you tell the truth in the history about the small hats, you're considered anti-Semitic. And you tell, you read and understand the Bible in its proper context, and you understand that the prophecies don't fit the small hats and that it fits you, you're considered anti-Semitic. So again, a lot of folks in the spear are Hebrew Israelites or listen to the Hebrew Israelites on the low. If you're a black man, you call yourself, the real Jew or the Jews that the Bible speaks of. Guess what? The feds have already deemed you as as a hate group, and that's someone to be monitored. Why you backing down now? Because they on the red pill shit. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like brothers need to either be about that action, or or you just gonna be a coward. Hold up. Let me see if I could find. There you go. The hate group of anti-Semitism. Guess what? The Nation of Islam. Right here. A lot of brothers in despair. Guess what? A lot of brothers followed Elijah Muhammad, the teachers of Khalid Muhammad, Fard Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? Some of them listen to uh what's that gentleman? Ben X and Riza Islam and stuff like that. And that's another thing. I believe Minister Louis Farrakhan and I think Riza Islam has been banned off social media, or at least banned off YouTube. I know Minister Farrakhan is, but I believe I think Rizza Islam has been dealing with some shit with that too. And they used to have brothers in the spirit that will still big up Farrakhan, no problem. But if you follow the teachings of the Nation of Islam, as many men in the man of spirit do, and big up men like great men like Khalid Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad, stuff like that, guess what? The feds see you as a hate group too. So, which goes back to my main point. Why the fuck are you guys backing down now? Why are you backing down now? My whole point is grow some fucking balls, man, and be a man. You either gonna stand for something, you gonna fall for anything. And what I see for a lot of the guys in the manosphere, yeah, the manosphere is dead. The man, get the fuck out of here, man. Take your bitch ass down the road somewhere and do what the fuck you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? The manosphere, they claim the manosphere have been dead like dozens of times, but yet still, the manosphere is what moves the needle. When you have people referring the manosphere by name, or you know what I'm saying? The manosphere by name, and some of the people in it, we're moving the needle. You know what I'm saying? The main content creators that's in the black manosphere or the manosphere adjacent, that's doing content to educate men, to get their minds right, to get their lives right, to make better moves in a society that's filled with pit traps for men, especially black men. Because for a lot of black men, you fall into some of these pit traps, it's game over. You know what I'm saying? Some of these like white men and men of other races, they could fall into some of these pit trap and could recover. For you black men, you fall in, just throw in the towel. Because your life is gonna be infinitely harder. And I honestly believe that this whole thing with the feds labeling red pill content as a hate group is a way to deter black men from encouraging other black men to get their mind right, to get their spirit right, to get their body right. Okay, listen, you back out in the dating world, you're not pulling chicks like you used to, whatever. Yeah, you might have to tighten up, you might have to work out. You might have to, get your, get some gear. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Telling men how to look good, to smell good. You know what I'm saying? Carry yourself with dignity. Telling black men that you belong. Telling black men if you want to get to the next level, the steps you have to take to get there. And even Kevin Samuel was red pill himself. Was telling brothers this whole signing up to be stepdad thing. Mm-mm. And that if you're a black man, you bust your ass to be the top 10%, even the top 2% of all earners in this country, you shouldn't have to settle for whatever shit some feminist bitch brings your way. If that makes us guilty of a federal crime, then so be it. So the way how to wrap all this shit up is this. I honestly believe that this whole thing with the feds is a way to keep brothers on the plantation, to keep brothers as Sims, to keep brothers as drones, as mindless sheep of whatever agenda that's being pushed by the government, that's probably funded by the FBI or the CIA, that they want you to be drones just to go along with it. And any kind of pushback, you're a threat. Now let's list some of the possible ideologies that are being pushed now. The woman over the man's thing, the independent woman nonsense, the Me Too nonsense. A woman could have Consensual sex with a man today and by tomorrow cry grape. Consensual sex with a man today and by tomorrow cry grape. What else? The whole feminism thing. That oh, you don't I don't need a man, blah blah blah, woo, woo. I don't want to get married. I don't have to get married and stuff like that. You got that. You got a whole lot of that going on with the modern woman. You got the whole alphabet agenda going on with the trans gentlemen and stuff like that. And the alphabet agenda is all pushed into TV movies and stuff. And now it's even in kids' cartoons now. The alphabet agenda being pushed on kids, telling children as young as 5 or 6 years old, who can't even, what I'm saying, what I'm saying, that could barely even tie their shoes, that all of a sudden had the wisdom of their own to determine their own agenda or determine whether or not they're gay or straight. A 5-year-old boy could decide that he's gay. Kind of madness is that? 7-year-old girl could decide that she's a lesbian. What kind of madness is that? Uh, uh, a 6-year-old boy could want to be a transgender. Madness. And now, what's this latest trend? Polyandry. So now, if you're a masculine man and you say no to any, if not all, of the current agendas that's being currently pushed, guess what? You're toxic masculinity. You're a misogynist. You're a chauvinist. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a red pill and you see the agenda and you be like, guess what? The feds now got you as a hate group. Well, my whole point is this. If you're a black man, you part of any kind of conscious movement for the longest time, and you worry about this shit, something really wrong with you. There should be no man that's a part of the Hebrew Israelites. There should be no man that should be a 5%er. There should be no man that's a part of the Nation of Islam that learned them, that currently with them or not. No man that should be claiming sovereignty. None of them. Or no man that's a part that's claiming masculinity in its purest form should even be intimidated by this fucking article, by this whole thing. If you do this, show that you wasn't down, you wasn't real about it. You wasn't real with yours. And this whole thing on social media, you know what I'm saying, was just a grift. So that's it, man. That's my rant. You know what I'm saying? Like me, listen, I'm gonna continue to talk about red pill. I'm gonna continue to talk about, what I'm saying, masculinity. I'm gonna still use it, red pill terms. If that make me in trouble with the feds, oh well. Listen, I'm already under investigation with the feds. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Been one for a decade. Been in the streets, preaching the word of God. No fear. It's another day in the South Bronx for me. Been in Hebrew Israelite for a decade now, over a decade now. Still here, still standing. And again, I'm gonna close it like this. If preaching holiness, if preaching righteousness, is preaching to if preaching to men that's out committing crimes, gang banging, drug dealing, killing, robbing, raping, if me preaching to those men to turn from your wicked ways, follow the Most High, keep the commandments, and the faith in the Messiah, and that you are the children of Israel, if that makes me guilty of a federal crime, then I'm guilty as charged. If I'm out here preaching to the ladies to submit your man, disavow feminism, be about traditionalism sincerely, not half-assed like you see on social media. Sincerely be about traditionalism. Sincerely be about submitting to your man. That makes me guilty of a federal crime. Guilty as charged. Because I answer to a higher power, not to no federal agency. And those of you who believe in God and those of you who stand for holiness and righteousness, you answer to a higher power too. So that's just it. Grow some fucking balls. Double down. Listen, if all the folks want to disavow the red pill talking points and stuff like that, that's cool. More for me. Because guess what? The Bible is red pill. And you understand the Bible in its purest form? The Bible is red pill. Talks about a lot of issues that's still going on today. And again, it's standing on the word of God makes me get standing on the word of God in its purest form makes me guilty of a federal crime. I'm guilty as charged. So that's just it. That's just my rant. What do you guys think? So this is your brother Sham signing off, saying shalom.